We continue in chapter 51. We're coming to a conclusion of the first book, 53 chapters. We spoke yesterday about the anatomy of us, how the soul interplays with the body on three dimensions. There's the essence of the soul that's found everywhere equally. There is the first place where it abodes and reveals in its full force in the brain, hence consciousness of the brain, hence the brain rules and gives life to the rest of the body, even the heart, including the heart. And then there is the soul, the way it finds itself in the limbs of the body, uniquely in the eye to give the eye the power to see, in the ear to give the power to hear, and the feet to walk, and so on and so forth. That was the analogy for us to understand God and the presence of God. What does that mean? So today's a short class that we will deal with just one dimension of the three things that we just mentioned: the essence of the soul, the first and dominant place where its abode, and then how it finds itself uniquely in all parts of the body. So it's truly similar, figuratively speaking, when we speak about the Ein Sof, the limitlessness of God, that He fills all the worlds and animates them, permeating them, each world and creature without limit and end. Right? All the worlds without end, the worlds without end, and God in that way too. Now, when we speak about the core essence of the Ein Sof, right, which is like the core essence of the soul, it is found in the higher worlds and the lower worlds in the same way. No distinction. Just like the soul is found, the essence of the soul is found equally in the brain, in my heart, my hand, my toenail. All the same. Why? Because we're talking about the essence of the soul, or the essence here in the analog, the essence of the divine, the Ein Sof. It's not divisible. Just the core soul, essence of the soul is not divisible. So likewise, the essence of, likewise. That's the metaphor for us to understand God is not divisible in this manner. And therefore, higher worlds, lower worlds, no distinction. And this is what it says in the Zohar, that God is hidden from all the hidden. What does it mean, is hidden from all the hidden? Well, because there's hidden worlds from us that are beyond us. And from that, God is hidden. Equally hidden. And when we speak now about the core essence of God, Ein Sof, equally hidden from the hidden worlds that are beyond us. Well, the core essence of God relative to the hidden worlds and to our world, equally beyond. And therefore, there is no distinction on how He is present in this world or in spiritual worlds that are beyond this world. Right? He is found, God is found in the higher worlds as He is found in the lower worlds with no distinction. Again, as the soul is found, the essence of the soul is found in the brain, the hand, a toenail, equally with no distinction. That is the short class for today. Let's maybe understand this a bit. What does it mean? So there's a story of Rav Hillel Paritcher, who was a chassid of this, of the Alter Rebbe's son. Hillel Parcher saw the boots of the Alter Rebbe basically when he was a 17-year-old. Actually, this week's Torah portion of take what we learned in Chumash today, as a matter of fact, or partially, that when you evaluations, when you want to give a gift and an evaluation of yourself or your field or whatever it is, this week's parsha. Right. So Hillel Parcher, as a teenager, was a brilliant scholar, had a question, and he was trying to find, he wanted to sought out the Alter Rebbe wherever he came. He always missed him. Whatever town he came to, he always missed him. Finally came to a town. He figured, you know what? He's not here yet. I'm going to wait for him. He hid in the room where the Alter Rebbe was supposed to come and lodge. Alter Rebbe comes into the room. He's hiding. And he had a question. Where was the question? From Masechtas Erchin, the tractate of evaluation. And he was lying under, and Alter Rebbe walks in, and before he could emerge and introduce himself to the Alter Rebbe, our teacher, the Alter Rebbe says, someone who has a question about evaluations should first evaluate themselves. He heard that, he fainted. The Alter Rebbe turned around and left. He never met him, and became a chassid of his son, the Mittler Rebbe. Now that's like a pretty wondrous story on many levels. You know, like, okay, the Alter Rebbe is the Alter Rebbe, and it's connected with all souls, and therefore knew of his presence, obviously, and knew about his question that he had. But for whatever reason, he was meant to become a chassid. He became his chassid. He's a teenager, but became a, complete devotee and meeting and having Yechid's private audience with only his son, the Mittler Rebbe. So what did he see of the Alter Rebbe? He was under a bed or something like that, and he peered out when he came in, and all he saw was his boots. That was it. And with this, Hillel Parcher became a real huge, genius of geniuses, and chassid of chassids. I mean, we're talking about, really. And so he said about himself, me, compared to Rabbi Isaac Homler, chassid's chassid. Like me, I'm so distant from him like a cat. He says, and don't make a mistake, is like the distance between my intelligence and the cat's intelligence, that distance is the distance between me and him. No. Me and a cat standing before him are equal. There's no difference. That's how much greater he is than me. They're equal, the cat and him. Now, the cat and him are like worlds apart, obviously. But what is it? I'm using this by way of metaphor to understand what it means, the essence of something. That it's so beyond, that it's beyond two things that are similar themselves are incomparable. So this physical world is incomparable compared to the spiritual worlds above. Totally incomparable. Even at the emanation of God, Atzilus. Incomparable. Yet before the essence of God, Atzilus and a rock in this world are both the same. No distinction. And therefore the presence of the essence of God, the Ein Sof, is equally. Higher world, lower world, no distinction. What does that mean? On that level, It's not like there's a virtue of something, a greatness of something, right? On that level, there's nothing but the divine. And what that means, see, this is just one dimension. We're speaking about God as he finds himself in the world. This is one dimension, is the essence of, essence means beyond revelation. Because on a revealed level, there is distinction between higher and lower. That's why something's called higher and something's called lower. The light of God is greater in the higher world. The light of God is lesser in the lower world. The physical world even less. So there is distinction. And great distinction. That could be incomparable. That's when we talk about revelation. And the truth is, in the human condition, we only know about revealed things because that which is revealed, we can describe, we can give parameters and definitions and have a discussion about it. The essence is beyond. So there's even the essence of the person, which is your soul. The essence of that soul is beyond description. It's not like, oh, the soul is spiritual, or the soul is, great intelligence, the soul. It's beyond intelligence. It's not defined by intelligence. It incorporates intelligence, but it's not defined by it. Much beyond that. Just as God is not defined by intelligence. Beyond that. Even though we speak about divine intelligence. So it's hard to wrap our minds around the concept of the essence of something, because we relate to perception of things that have a parameter, have a dimension, have a revelation to it, and therefore have definition, and therefore we can talk about it. Here it's hard to talk about it. Ein Sof, beyond, we can't comprehend, essence of the soul, beyond, and therefore, beyond, therefore, there's no such thing as high and low. Therefore, it's found equally everywhere. And the importance of understanding this is, because we'll see there's other dimension. Well, we have already other dimensions of the soul that we spoke about, right? The first place where it's revealed in the brain, the soul, that's revelation. It's no longer essence. And then where it's diffused in a very functional manner. So these three dimensions are very important to appreciate. And today we only speak about the essence of how it is in the divine. Okay. Questions, comments? Looking for 2 question marks and then questions. By the way, there's Rambam after this. I don't see any questions. Guess what? Well, on the essence of things that are beyond us, that mind can't comprehend, I guess there's no question. On this level, there isn't. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zich and Kadesh in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Come join us for Rambam, starting in about 10 minutes. But I'm going to open up the Zoom now. All right, folks. Thank you for joining. Have a great day. We'll continue the conversation and understanding more dimensions of the divine tomorrow and how we learn that out from our own anatomy.